Hi everyone, I'm Angela, and today we're going to talk about a very interesting topic of sociolinguistics, accents. In sociolinguistics, an accent is a pronunciation that is specific to a particular person, place, or country. An accent may be identified with the locality in which its speakers reside, the socioeconomic status of its speakers, the speaker's ethnicity, their social class, or influences from their first language. These accents can be classified into regional or geographical accent, social accent, or foreign accent. Accents typically differ in quality of voice, pronunciation, and distinction of vowels and consonants. Although grammar, semantics, vocabulary, and other language characteristics often vary concurrently with accent, the word accent may refer specifically to the differences in pronunciation, whereas the word dialect encompasses the broader set of linguistic differences. Accent is often a subset of dialect. Now, before going into the details, let's first look at different pronunciations of apple.
In American English, apple, apple.
In British English, apple, apple.
In Australian English, apple, apple.
In Welsh English, apple, apple.
As human beings spread out into isolated communities, stresses develop. Over time, they can develop into identifiable accents. In North America, the interaction of people from many ethnic backgrounds contributed to the formation of different varieties of North American accents. It is difficult to measure how long it takes an accent to form. Accents from Canada, South Africa, Australia, and the US, for example, developed from the combinations of different accents and languages in various communities and their effect on the various pronunciations of British settlers. Children are able to take on accents relatively quickly. I can say this is true because I used to have a strong Singaporean accent, and now I mainly have an Australian accent. Children of immigrant families, for example, generally have a pronunciation more similar to people native to where they live compared to their parents. But both children and parents may have an accent differing from local people. Accents seem to remain relatively malleable until a person's early 20s, after which a person's accent seems to be more entrenched. People's accent may slowly morph into someone else's, to whom they listen a lot. This is especially commonplace in modern times, with people listening to online media a lot, in which the speaker can easily have a different accent. Factors affecting accents. Firstly, non-native accents. Accents of non-native speakers may be the result of the speaker's native language, as each language contains distinct sounds. Secondly, social factors. When a group defines a standard pronunciation, speakers who deviate from it are often said to speak with an accent. However, everyone speaks with an accent. People from the US would speak English with an accent from the point of view of an Australian, and vice versa. Though in linguistics there is no differentiation among accents in regard to their prestige, aesthetics, or correctness, certain accents are perceived to carry more prestige in a society than other accents. This is often due to their association with the elite part of society. For example, in the UK, received pronunciation of the English language is associated with traditional upper class. The same can be said about the predominance of southeastern Brazilian accents in the case of the Brazilian variant of the Portuguese language. Since some accents are perceived as prestigious, there are also stereotypes regarding accents. Stereotypes refer to specific characteristics, traits, or roles that a group or its members are believed to possess. Stereotypes can be both positive and negative, although negative are more common. So, stereotypes may result in prejudice, which is defined as having negative attitudes towards a group and its members. individuals with non-standard accents often have to deal with both negative stereotypes and prejudice because of an accent. For example, British accents are seen as scholarly or intellectual in America, while in parts of Ireland and parts of Europe, they are looked down upon. In severe circumstances, there are legal implications associated with accents. For example, a controversial case was Kentucky's highest court in the case of Clifford versus Commonwealth held that a white police officer who had not seen the black defendant allegedly involved in a drug transaction could nevertheless identify him as a participant by saying that a voice on an audio tape sounded black. The police officer based this identification on the fact that the defendant was the only African American man in the room at the time of the transaction, and that an audio tape contained the voice of a man that the officer said sounded black, selling crack cocaine to a European American informant planted by the police. In affirming the trial court, a majority of Kentucky Supreme Court held that because witnesses are routinely permitted to give their lay opinion about certain common observations, such as a person's age or whether he or she was intoxicated, it was proper for this police officer to opine about a man's race based solely on what he had heard. The majority reasoned that because witnesses have been allowed to testify about accent or dialect, it was proper for this police officer to testify about the defendant's race and thus his identity without having seen him. This is a highly controversial case where some argue there is accent stereotyping. So that's all for this video today. Hopefully now you know more about accents in terms of sociolinguistics. And please don't judge people based on accents, as there is no differentiation among accents in regard to their prestige or correctness. Last note, don't forget to subscribe, like, and comment below.